Chosen one. Do not move your finger. Stop right, exactly where you are. Do not scroll past this message. You might think this video simply appeared on your screen by chance. You might believe the algorithm finally guessed what you were looking for. But you are wrong. Heaven has entirely bypassed the normal laws of technology to find you tonight. This is a divine interception. It is an urgent alignment of time and space. I stepped into your path today because a very specific spiritual alarm is ringing over your life. You have been asking for a sign. You have been begging for a clear answer. And if you ignore this moment, you will walk away from the exact shift I orchestrated for you. Your mind is heavy right now. Your shoulders are tight. You are holding tension in your jaw that you do not even realize. You have been carrying too much. And you have been carrying it all by yourself. The pressure to figure everything out has left you exhausted. Take one slow breath. Let the heavy armor fall off your back for just a moment. I see the way you have been surviving. I watch you pushing through the fog every single day. You smile for the people around you. You pretend that you are strong enough to handle the storm. But inside your quietest moments, you are barely holding on. You are terrified that the silence means I have forgotten your prayers. I have not forgotten you. The answer you need is not coming tomorrow. It is not waiting for you next week. The breakthrough you have been crying for is positioned right here, today, in this exact hour. That is why the enemy has been trying to distract you. He wants you to keep scrolling. He wants you to numb your tired mind with meaningless noise. Do not let him win. Stay in this room with me. I need your undivided attention. Lay down your defense and simply listen to my voice. I am not here to demand more work from you. I am not here to tell you to try harder. I am stepping into your storm today to hand you a specific key. A key that will completely shatter the cycle of waiting that has kept you trapped. You feel a sudden resistance right now. You feel a strange urge to swipe away. That is not your logic speaking. That is spiritual warfare. The darkness knows that if you receive this word, your season of lack will permanently end. Resist that urge. Hold your ground. You are standing on the very edge of your arrival season. You are the cycle breaker. You are the rightful heir to a massive spiritual inheritance. But you have been standing outside the door like a beggar. You have been pleading for scraps of peace. I am here to completely shift your posture. The Father does not want you to beg anymore. He wants you to step into the room and claim what is already yours. I have seen every night you struggled to sleep. I have counted every silent tear that soaked your pillow. You thought no one understood the depth of your sacrifice. You thought your obedience was completely wasted. But heaven keeps a meticulous record of your faithfulness. Your season of hidden tears is officially over. The vindication begins now. Before this short message ends, a profound mystery will be unlocked. I am going to reveal the exact reason why your blessing was delayed. I will show you the hidden architecture of your current struggle, but you must stay anchored right here. If you leave now, the window of this supernatural alignment will close. Hear my voice clearly. I am drawing a bloodline around your peace today. I am sending angels to secure your borders. The heavy fog that has clouded your judgment is about to lift entirely, but I require your holy silence. I require your obedience to stand still. Do not try to fix the situation with your own hands anymore. Just rest and let me fight for you tonight. You are safe here. My presence is wrapping around you like a thick blanket. All the voices of doubt are being commanded to fall completely silent. You are my beloved child, and the message I have for you today will permanently alter the trajectory of your bloodline. Open your spirit right now. Let the healing waters wash over your tired soul. Let me speak to the deepest ache in your heart right now. Breathe slowly with me. You have been waiting for a very long time. The days have turned into long months. The months have slowly bled into years. And every morning you wake up hoping that today will be the day, but nothing actually changes. The heavy silence simply remains. I see the private battles you fight when all the doors are closed. I watch you sitting on the edge of your bed late at night. The house is completely dark and quiet while everyone else is sleeping peacefully. But your mind is aggressively racing with endless calculations and fears. The pressure is quietly crushing you. You feel profoundly alone. You swallow your bitter tears because you do not want to wake anyone up. You force the panic back down deep inside your chest. Sometimes you just stare at the ceiling and wonder if heaven is even listening anymore. You ask yourself if your desperate prayers are just bouncing off the cold walls. The darkness whispers that you are foolish for hoping. I know exactly how exhausting it is to be the strong one all the time. You are the tired caregiver of your bloodline. You constantly carry the heavy burdens of your family and your friends. When they fall apart, you are always the one holding the pieces together. You smile and offer them comfort while your own spirit is quietly bleeding out. Nobody stops to ask how the strong one is really doing today. Nobody sees how dangerously close you are to completely breaking down. You give and you give until your human vessel is completely empty. And when you finally need a shoulder to lean on, the room is entirely empty. You look around for rescue, but there is only cold silence. This spiritual fatigue has literally settled into your physical bones. Your memory feels thick and foggy. Your steps feel incredibly slow and heavy. You drag yourself through the daily routine like a broken machine because you have no other choice. You are operating entirely on raw survival mode. And the worst part is the creeping shame. The enemy tells you that this misery is all your own fault. You sit there and aggressively analyze every past mistake. You wonder if you did something deeply wrong to cause this terrible delay. You think maybe you did not pray hard enough or have enough faith. You treat heaven like a strict bank, trying to negotiate with me for a miracle. You promise to work harder if I will just send a little relief. Stop punishing yourself for things I have already washed away. You watch other people receive their beautiful blessings so easily. You see them celebrating the exact victories that you have begged for, and a quiet, painful ache tries to take root in your tired heart. You quickly push the sadness down, but the sting is absolutely real. You ask why it has to be so incredibly difficult for you. You wonder why your path is filled with so many massive obstacles while others walk freely. The deep isolation makes you feel like an outcast in your own life. You feel entirely misunderstood by the people around you. They offer cheap advice that only makes you feel much worse. They tell you to just be patient and stay positive, but they do not feel the agonizing physical weight of your daily reality. They do not know what it costs you just to get out of bed and try again. I know what it costs you. I see every ounce of your fierce effort. You have reached the absolute end of your human strength. You have nothing left to give and no more polished words to pray. Sometimes your prayers are just heavy sighs and silent tears falling on the floor. But I understand the raw language of your shattered heart perfectly. I hear the volume of your silence louder than any shouted word. You feel like a broken vessel left behind in the dusty wilderness. You are deeply terrified that this agonizing season will become your permanent reality forever. You fear that you will grow old waiting for a beautiful promise that never actually arrives. Lay that heavy terror down right now. I am stepping into your dark room tonight. I need you to understand something absolutely vital right now. You have completely misunderstood the nature of my silence. You looked at the closed doors and the quiet skies, and you called it a painful rejection. You felt the agonizing delay and you quickly decided that I was angry with you. But you are measuring the vastness of heaven using the broken logic of this temporary world. Breathe out that heavy guilt immediately. Your unanswered prayers were never a sign of your personal failure. Your deep exhaustion is not a symptom of weak faith. You thought I was simply ignoring your desperate cries from the dark while you suffered alone. But the truth is that I was violently busy on your behalf behind the scenes. The delay was always my fierce protection. While you were crying over the closed door, I was aggressively clearing out the room behind it. You wanted full access immediately. But if I had given you the massive blessing back then, the toxic people around you would have consumed it entirely, and the hidden traps strategically placed in your path would have destroyed your entire foundation before you even started. The enemy desperately wanted you to receive the heavy inheritance prematurely. He knew perfectly well that a massive blessing on an unprepared soul becomes a crushing curse. I had to let the fire burn away the relationships that secretly drained your life. I had to completely expose the subtle betrayers who smiled in your face while actively plotting your downfall in secret. It felt like a painful loss to your human eyes. You cried bitterly when certain people suddenly walked away from your life without an explanation. but I was actually removing the heavy anchors that were holding your ship in the shallow harbor. You are a chosen vessel destined for incredibly deep and dangerous waters. You cannot sail into massive wealth carrying the dead weight of the past. Do not call yourself broken when you are simply under holy compression. The fog in your mind right now is deeply misunderstood by the people around you. You think your forgetfulness means you are finally losing your grip on reality. But it is just the physiological weight of carrying a massive spiritual calling inside a very fragile human body. Your nervous system is bracing for the shift. Let the intense pressure settle down for a moment. You have been fighting a terrifying ghost that does not even exist. The punishing God you created in your anxious mind is a complete illusion. I am not standing in the sky with a ledger waiting for you to make a fatal mistake. I am the Father wrapping a thick and impenetrable shield around your vulnerable blind spots. You thought the wilderness was a terrible punishment for your past mistakes, but the dry wilderness was actually the safest place to completely hide you from the enemy. He was searching for you everywhere. He desperately wanted to abort the incredible destiny written over your entire bloodline. But my long silence created an invisible cloak over your fragile life when you were weakest. You were hidden safely in the shadow of my hand. The quietness you hated was the very thing that kept you alive, so you must stop interrogating yourself in the mirror every morning. Stop treating your soul like a crime scene that needs to be constantly investigated. You are completely clean and you are fully forgiven by heaven. The long delay was simply the intense drawing back of the prophetic bow. You are the sharp arrow being pulled deep into the terrifying tension of the string. It feels incredibly tight and suffocating right now. But the violent tension is not meant to break your spirit. The immense pressure is exactly what generates the terrifying velocity for your upcoming launch into greatness. When the time is right, the silence will suddenly shatter, and when I finally release my grip, no demon in hell will be able to catch you. You will easily bypass every single barrier that held your family in generational poverty. But you had to endure the painful pulling back first. You had to learn the holy and quiet discipline of stillness. Lay down your frantic need to constantly control the outcome. Let go of the rigid timeline you created in your tired and anxious mind. You cannot successfully orchestrate a heavenly miracle using earthly calendars and human logic. The season of preparation was painfully long, but the season of manifestation will be shockingly fast. The foundation is finally dug deep enough for the palace. Let me look deeper into the silent corners of your heavy heart today. You have spent your entire life pouring water into other people. You are the ultimate caretaker, and you do it beautifully, but the well inside your own soul is completely dry right now. You are running entirely on fumes and raw willpower. You need a safe place to finally rest. Everyone around you simply expects you to have all the answers ready. They bring their chaotic messes to your doorstep every single day. You quietly clean up the broken pieces of their careless lives. You give them your time. You give them your limited energy. But when you are the one falling apart, there is absolutely nobody standing in the room to hold you. You have become a master at wearing a brave and pleasant face. You step out of your front door and project total stability. You smile brightly so they do not feel uncomfortable. You swallow your own panic just to keep the fragile peace in the house. But the heavy mask is slowly suffocating your spirit. It takes massive effort just to pretend you are okay. And then the quiet night finally falls over your tired house. The door closes, the heavy mask comes off your exhausted face, and the dam completely breaks. I see the silent tears you shed when nobody else is watching you. I see you burying your face in your pillow so the sound does not wake them up. You weep until your chest physically aches. You feel entirely invisible in your own difficult life right now. You wonder if your endless sacrifices even matter to anyone at all. You feel like a tool that people only use when they desperately need fixing, and once their crisis is safely resolved, they conveniently forget the heavy price you paid to save them. It is a lonely and bitter pill to swallow. This emotional bleeding has taken a severe toll on your physical vessel. Your back always hurts, your neck is completely stiff, your jaw is locked tight because you are constantly bracing for the next disaster. Unclench your jaw right now. Take one very slow breath in. Let your tight shoulders finally drop. You do not have to hold the sky up today. Listen to me very carefully. Your eternal worth is not measured by how much pain you can carry for others. You are not just a spiritual pack mule meant to drag their heavy burdens forever. I did not create you simply to be a dumping ground for toxic emotions. You have a profound destiny that has absolutely nothing to do with rescuing broken people. Whenever you try to set a healthy boundary, the deep guilt attacks you. You feel incredibly selfish for simply wanting a moment of quiet peace. The enemy constantly whispers that you are abandoning them. He uses their endless crises to keep you completely distracted from your own massive calling. He weaponizes your beautiful empathy against your destiny. I am officially releasing you from the exhausting role of the Savior. You cannot heal them. You can only love them. But you cannot sacrifice your own divine inheritance just to keep them comfortable in their dysfunction. It is time to gently lay their heavy burdens back down at their own feet. It is time to fiercely protect your own shrinking energy. I am gathering every single tear you cried in the lonely dark. I am bottling your secret grief and turning it into heavy spiritual currency. You thought your quiet suffering was entirely ignored by the universe, but heaven was documenting every time you chose love over your own comfort. The scales of justice are preparing to tip massively in your favor. You have faithfully guarded the fragile hearts of so many people. Now it is my turn to fiercely guard yours. Let me wrap a thick layer of peace around your exhausted mind. Let me sit with you in the quiet room while you finally rest your head. You are entirely safe with me. You can stop being the strong one for just a little while. I have got you completely. Let me reveal the hidden architecture behind your recent string of brutal bad luck. You have felt a very strange heaviness following you around lately. Things are suddenly breaking down for absolutely no logical reason. And when the money slips through your tired fingers before you can even count it, you incorrectly assume that you are simply cursed or deeply unlucky. Listen to me very carefully right now. That string of unfortunate events is not a random coincidence. It is a highly coordinated spiritual attack against your specific bloodline. The intense anxiety waking you up at 3 in the morning is not a medical issue, but rather the desperate, frantic movement of the enemy operating entirely out of pure terror. He did not target your finances and your peace because you are weak. He attacked your life because he knows exactly what you are about to inherit. The darkness is completely terrified of the massive destiny written over your name. He knows that if you step into your rightful position, you will permanently destroy his kingdom and your family. Thieves do not break into an empty house. They only target the vault that contains the most valuable treasure. Your current level of intense warfare is simply the ultimate proof of your immense spiritual value. The enemy is violently throwing everything he has at you right now because he desperately hopes that the heavy exhaustion will make you quietly surrender. He wants you to believe that heaven has permanently abandoned you. He whispers lies into your mind when you are completely drained. He tells you that fighting back is utterly useless. But his aggressive tactics are actually a massive sign of his own impending defeat, because he is running completely out of time and he knows his vicious reign is ending. You are the chosen one who carries the breaker anointing. You possess the spiritual authority to finally end the cycle of generational poverty. When you simply walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts in the unseen realm. The enemy recognizes the bright light of heaven shining intensely through your tired eyes, and that glorious light makes him absolutely sick with fear. Stop blaming yourself for the heavy resistance in your life. You have been apologizing for things that are completely out of your control. You thought your lack of perfect faith caused the painful delays, but it was always a brutal war over your massive inheritance. Because the adversary is actively trying to bankrupt your spirit before the glorious harvest officially begins. I am exposing his entire playbook to you right now. He relies entirely on the heavy shadow of your ignorance to operate secretly, but when you finally realize who you truly are, his cheap tricks lose all their power. You are not a helpless victim waiting to be rescued, but rather a fierce warrior standing right in the middle of a strategic battlefield. He cannot actually stop the blessing from reaching your hands. He does not possess the absolute authority to rewrite your divine destiny. He can only create a loud and annoying illusion of total defeat. He desperately wants you to drop your heavy sword and walk away from the battle, handing over your royal crown because you feel too tired to wear it. Do not give him the satisfaction of your tears today. Do not let his temporary chaos dictate your permanent identity. You are wrapped completely in the protective armor of the Most High. The spiritual attacks are simply validating your extreme importance to the kingdom, so I need you to stand up incredibly tall today and stare directly into the face of the storm. The darkness is trembling at the sound of your name. The enemy forces are in a state of absolute and complete panic. They see the massive heavenly provision being dispatched to your exact address. They watch the mighty angels marching fiercely to defend your specific borders, and they know that your season of constant warfare is finally coming to a glorious end. The pressure you feel right now is absolutely unprecedented. You feel like you cannot take one single step further. The spiritual compression around your life is almost completely unbearable. Every direction you turn seems to be blocked by massive walls, and the heavy air in the room feels thick with silent anticipation before the storm finally breaks. You are completely exhausted. But this extreme tension is the ultimate proof of your arrival. You are standing squarely on the very edge of the threshold. The transition between the wilderness and the promised land is always the most violent. The enemy screams the loudest when he knows he is finally losing his grip on your life. He wants you to completely panic at the door. He wants you to run away right before the heavy lock finally turns. Do not move from your spot. The fierce intensity of this exact moment is not designed to destroy you. The fire is burning extremely hot right now. The furnace is turned up to maximum capacity. But the raging flames are only consuming the ropes that have kept you completely tied down. You are being forged into an entirely new weapon, and the heavy pounding of the hammer is perfectly shaping your sharp edge. You feel an intense physical urge to just give up today. Your tired mind is desperately looking for any easy way out. The darkness whispers that quitting is the only way to find quiet peace. Reject that vicious lie immediately. Quitting now would be an absolute tragedy. You have already paid the painful price for this massive spiritual victory. Do not forfeit your rich reward. You have survived every single storm the enemy threw at your fragile vessel. You have walked through the deep valleys of profound betrayal and heavy loss. And now you are standing at the final gate of your incredible transition. The massive doors of your inheritance are violently shaking on their strong hinges. The entire unseen realm is holding its breath for your next move. I need you to hold your ground with absolute, fierce determination. Do not look back at the broken pieces of your painful history. The old version of your life is completely dead and gone. You cannot carry the heavy ashes of yesterday into the glorious palace of your beautiful tomorrow. Let the dead things stay permanently buried in the dirt where they truly belong. The profound tension in your chest is the feeling of heavy chains finally breaking. It is the physiological reaction of your body preparing to hold massive weight. You cannot receive an unprecedented level of wealth with a fragile and fearful mind. You must be stretched completely to your absolute limit. The uncomfortable tearing sensation you feel is actually making room for the blessing. Every demon assigned to your bloodline is staging a final desperate protest. They are throwing wild accusations at your mind to completely break your focus. They want you to suddenly doubt every single promise heaven ever made to you. But their loud panic is the beautiful music of your impending victory. They are violently packing their bags because their eviction notice is officially signed. Stay incredibly still in this violent spiritual crossfire. Do not try to defend yourself with your own tired human words. The righteous judge of heaven is already standing up in the ultimate courtroom. The heavy wooden gavel is raised high in the air right now, and when it finally strikes the table, every wicked curse spoken over your finances will permanently shatter into dust. You are literally moments away from a massive paradigm shift. The spiritual gravity in your quiet room is changing exactly as you hear my voice today. Breathe into the heavy tension and do not run away from the pressure. Face the terrifying wind with your shoulders squared and your tired head held high. You are the chosen elite of heaven. You are specifically built for this exact pressure. The massive compression is about to release completely. The agonizing weight is officially expiring in the spiritual realm right now. Gather your remaining strength and open your spirit incredibly wide. Do not shrink back into the familiar comfort of your old painful suffering. The terrifying threshold is beautifully resolving, and the glorious light of your arrival is violently breaking through. The atmosphere in your quiet room is completely changing right now. You can feel the heavy spiritual static finally clearing out. A profound and terrifying holy presence is boldly stepping into your personal space while actively pushing out the shadows that terrified you. The dark days of begging on your tired knees are officially over forever. You are about to step into your ultimate and absolute power. A petitioner stands at a counter and endlessly bargains for scraps. An heir walks confidently through the front door of the massive estate and simply receives what is already theirs. You have played the desperate role of the tired petitioner for far too long. You constantly negotiated with me for tiny drops of peace while you frantically tried to prove your absolute worth to a silent sky. You promised to be completely perfect if I would just answer your heavy prayers. Stop acting like a helpless slave in your own royal house today. I do not want your anxious bargaining anymore. I do not need you to constantly prove how incredibly tough you are. I require you to totally change your mindset from basic survival to a posture of absolute and unquestionable dominance. The transactional religion that taught you to grovel is completely dead. You are the highly favored and chosen elite of heaven. You are the cycle breaker, uniquely designed to carry massive wealth and profound influence. The deep scars on your soul are the glorious medals of a veteran spiritual warrior. You did not break under the heavy pressure when the violent storms completely wiped out everything around your fragile life. You survived the brutal fire, and you emerged completely purified. The adversary wants you to stay incredibly small and quiet. He wants you to keep apologizing for simply taking up space in rooms where you actually have full authority. But heaven is loudly demanding that you finally rise up and take your rightful seat. You have a massive inheritance with your specific name written on it in heavenly ink. The massive vault is completely unlocked for you today. I am about to hand you a very specific and final mandate today. This is the ultimate key that the darkness desperately tried to hide from your tired eyes because it unlocks everything. Before you can receive this glorious answer, you must shed the heavy skin of the victim. You are absolutely not a victim of terrible circumstances. You are a fierce conqueror preparing for the greatest harvest of your entire life. Stand up straight right now and fiercely square your tired shoulders. Lift your heavy head up and stop looking down at the dirt beneath your tired feet while heaven is watching. You have royal blood running fiercely through your spiritual veins. The heavy chains of generational poverty and endless struggle are violently shattering exactly at this moment. You can literally feel the massive shift happening deep inside your chest. The period of painful waiting is completely over. The season of agonizing formation is finally complete. You have successfully passed the brutal test of holy silence. And now heaven is rolling out the red carpet for your grand arrival, while the angels are standing at attention. You are stepping entirely out of the dark shadow and into the blinding light of total victory. Do not shrink back into your comfortable fears today. Do not let the familiar anxiety steal your glorious crown right before the beautiful ceremony finally begins in front of your enemies. I am about to release the most profound and massive answer of your entire life. It is an answer that will completely silence every single person who ever doubted your calling. Are you truly ready to receive this massive blessing? Your physical body might still feel a little tired. Your human mind might still carry echoes of the old heavy fog. But your spirit is currently roaring like a fierce lion waking up from a long sleep. The warrior inside you is fully activated and aggressively ready to claim the massive territory you were promised before you were even born. Step into your absolute authority right now. Every tear you swallowed in the dark is turning into a massive weapon of light today. Every moment you felt forgotten is being heavily compensated by heaven right now. Prepare your open heart to receive the ultimate download of holy strategy and profound wisdom that will permanently change your family tree. The massive doors are swinging wide open, and you are walking straight through them into your destiny. The heavens are opening entirely for you right now. The answer you begged for is finally here today. You thought I was punishing your past mistakes. You thought your painful season of waiting meant I was angry. But the brilliant truth is that I was secretly crowning you and preparing a massive table right in the presence of your vicious enemies. You are the rightful heir stepping directly into your grand inheritance. The heavy vault of heaven is completely unlocked for you. Your bloodline is permanently severed from the ancient cycle of brutal poverty. You will never have to stand at the counter and beg for basic survival again. That agonizing transactional religion is completely dead today. The Father does not want your anxious bargaining anymore. He simply wants you to boldly receive the wealth that has your exact name engraved on it. Every chain of debt is violently shattering right now. The massive doors of opportunity are swinging wide open by divine command. The people who mocked your faithful waiting will stand in absolute shock. They will watch you step into unprecedented power because heaven is actively rewarding your deep sacrifices. You are a fierce conqueror. You are the cycle breaker chosen to lead your family completely out of the wilderness. You came into this exact moment feeling like a broken beggar. You were completely terrified that my long silence meant a brutal punishment. Now the heavy fog has completely lifted from your tired eyes. You know the absolute truth. You are the rightful heir, and the massive vault is officially open. The heavy anxiety that gripped your fragile chest 10 minutes ago has been completely washed away by my profound peace. Your tears are drying up, and your spirit is standing incredibly tall. The heavy armor of survival is falling off your shoulders. You can finally breathe without the sharp pain of constant worry. The spiritual battle is officially won in the unseen realm today. Heaven now requires a physical action to securely lock this massive blessing into your earthly reality before you leave this room. It is time to make a holy covenant. If this sanctuary has deeply bound your bleeding wounds today, if you feel the glorious weight of your royal identity returning to your tired bones, then take a moment right now to purposefully honor the holy altar. Plant a powerful financial seed through the Super Thanks button directly below this video to seal your absolute dominance over poverty. This is your physical decree that you completely trust the harvest is coming. The enemy wants you to remain afraid of losing your limited resources. He wants you to clutch your last few dollars in absolute terror. But you are incredibly wealthy in the unseen realm today. When you confidently sow a seed from a place of deep peace, you activate the massive law of heavenly multiplication. Your brave generosity will permanently destroy the vicious spirit of lack. The vault is officially yours to command. Take your rightful seat at the massive table prepared for you. Look at the incredible feast that was miraculously provided in the darkest hour of your life. Every single thing the enemy stole from your family is being violently returned with massive interest right now. The delay was long, but the sudden manifestation is absolutely glorious because heaven always saves the best wine for the final hour. You are the chosen elite. Rest in the undeniable power of your newly activated identity. You will absolutely never go back to the painful begging of yesterday. The heavy wilderness door is permanently locked securely behind you today. The beautiful promised land is stretching endlessly in front of your clear eyes, and no darkness can ever snatch this provision out of your royal hands. Stand incredibly tall today. You have finally arrived safely. Pause exactly where you are sitting right now. Do not rush into your next anxious thought. Let the intense energy of this moment gently settle down. Unclench your tight jaw and take one very slow breath. Hold it for a quiet moment and let it out completely. Feel the massive weight physically sliding off your tired back. You have carried incredibly heavy things all by yourself today. Let your racing heart rate slow down to a peaceful rhythm. The loud roar of the spiritual battlefield is finally fading away. You do not have to hold your breath in absolute terror anymore. The violent storm has passed, and you are completely safe inside the quiet eye of the hurricane. The heavy iron armor of survival is falling to the floor. Drop your tense shoulders away from your tired ears today. Uncurl your tight fingers and rest your open hands gently on your lap. Your physical body has been bracing for a terrible disaster that is never actually coming. Tell your exhausted nervous system that the invisible war is officially over. You are no longer a frantic soldier fighting for basic survival in the dark wilderness. Feel the solid ground firmly supporting your tired feet right now. That is the unshakable and eternal foundation of heaven holding you up. You do not have to balance the heavy sky on your fragile shoulders anymore. Let the warm and cathartic peace wash over your exhausted mind like a gentle river. It is actively washing away every single ounce of toxic stress and deep panic. Close your tired eyes for just a brief and quiet second. Let the profound stillness wrap completely around you like a thick winter blanket. There is absolutely nothing left for you to frantically figure out in the dark tonight. The massive debt is paid, and the heavy doors of your future are securely locked. You can finally stop running the terrifying disaster scenarios in your anxious mind. Your fragile mind has been running at maximum speed for so many painful years. It is time to gently power down the chaotic and noisy engine of daily anxiety. The beautiful holy silence in this room is completely intentional and deeply protective. It is the beautiful sound of your vicious enemies retreating in absolute defeat. You do not need to defend your fragile peace anymore because heaven is guarding the door. You are safely transitioning from the brutal survival mode into a posture of deep rest. Your physical vessel desperately needs this quiet moment to fully recalibrate its spiritual frequency. Let the healing power of heaven sink deep into your tired and aching bones. You are the chosen elite, and the elite do not panic when the victory is already permanently secured. Take another incredibly slow and deliberate breath with me right now. Inhale the pure and brilliant light of your massive new reality. Exhale the bitter and toxic ashes of your painful history. The heavy and suffocating compression in your chest is entirely gone forever. You are breathing the free and sweet air of the promised land today. The dark fog of confusion will absolutely never cloud your bright mind again. I want you to gently linger in this holy pocket of profound peace. Do not let the noisy world pull you back into its cheap and meaningless drama. You carry a profound spiritual authority that strictly requires absolute inner stillness. When you move from a place of deep rest, your daily actions become incredibly powerful. The frantic and desperate energy of the tired beggar is completely washed away from you. You are completely anchored in the fierce and protective love of the Heavenly Father. He is looking at your resting face with immense pride and absolute joy right now. You bravely survived the absolute worst season of your entire difficult life. You did not break under the crushing pressure when everyone else simply walked away. And now you get to enjoy the quiet and beautiful aftermath of your glorious obedience. Stay exactly right here in this beautiful and absolute surrender. You have fully surrendered your heavy burdens, and heaven has gladly taken them all. You are perfectly light, and your tired spirit is completely free. You are the rightful heir, resting peacefully in your own grand house. The long, dark day of endless weeping is over. The gentle morning of your ultimate joy has officially arrived. The atmosphere in your room is forever changed. The heavy chains of yesterday will absolutely never bind you again. You have crossed the sacred threshold, and heaven requires one final act of obedience to permanently lock this glorious reality into place. This is not about the loud noise of the world. This is a holy and unbreakable covenant between your tired spirit and the loving Father. I need you to physically sign your new inheritance document today. The enemy desperately hopes you will simply close this message and slowly forget this profound truth. He wants you to go back to sleep. Do not let him steal this beautiful breakthrough. Go directly into the comments right now and type the numbers 777. That is your prophetic and undeniable signature. Writing those numbers tells the unseen realm that you fully accept your royal position. You can also leave the simple word Amen to loudly declare your absolute trust. Every time you physically type those letters, you are driving a heavy stake into the solid ground. You are loudly telling the darkness that your specific bloodline is no longer available for its cruel torment. Your physical action elegantly bridges the massive gap between heaven and earth today. You are making a firm declaration that the season of begging is completely over. Claim your massive blessing with absolute confidence and profound joy. The universe is actively realigning its vast resources just to honor your simple obedience. You are finally taking your rightful and permanent seat. Now I need you to look far beyond your own peaceful room. The heavy season of deep isolation is completely breaking off your entire life right now. But heaven always works through beautiful and divine connection. There is someone in your phone contacts who is actively staring at their bright screen. They are deeply terrified of tomorrow, just like you were an hour ago. They are silently weeping in the dark and begging for a tiny miracle. You have the immense power to be their sudden rescue tonight. Use your hands to reach directly into their dark wilderness. When you share this exact message with them, you instantly set the mighty law of heavenly multiplication into motion. Pass this anointed word on to them and completely save their fragile peace. You are a radiant light bearer stepping into a very dark world. As you generously water their dry soul, heaven will fiercely multiply your own upcoming harvest. The Father abundantly blesses the chosen ones who fiercely protect the broken people around them. Do not keep this massive healing entirely to yourself. Let the living water flow freely from your hands into their tired lives today. The adversary will certainly try to return tomorrow with his old familiar lies. He will desperately attempt to block the daily prophetic bread from reaching your hands. Do not leave your new spiritual borders completely unguarded. Subscribe to this quiet sanctuary so tomorrow the word finds you before the enemy can even speak. Build a massive and impenetrable fortress around your daily peace. Securing your divine supply line today ensures that you never starve again. You are completely equipped for the magnificent journey waiting ahead of you. The heavy fog of confusion has been permanently banished from your bright mind. You are the chosen elite, stepping beautifully into the season of absolute and undeniable manifestation. Walk boldly with your head held incredibly high. Do not let any toxic person make you feel small ever again. You carry the terrifying and brilliant light of heaven deep inside your chest. The Father is walking right beside you into this glorious new chapter of absolute freedom. The mighty angels are actively clearing the final debris from your golden path. Rest incredibly well tonight, knowing that the massive debt is permanently canceled. You are the rightful heir to an endless kingdom of peace and absolute prosperity. The long and bitter days of simply surviving are completely finished. Go forward in quiet confidence and unwavering power. The glorious victory is officially yours forever. Step quietly into your beautiful and profound rest today.